Hello, welcome to the BT360 podcast, What's Up in Business Travel, a weekly podcast where we update you on what's up this week in the world of business travel. This podcast is great for those who need to know what's happening, all in less than 15 minutes. My name is Ash. Let's get started. It is Monday, December 15th, and we've completed week 50 of 2025. As a reminder, BusinessTravel360.com is a great resource to take advantage of for everything business travel. Here, you can listen to the best podcasts in travel, take advantage of bonus points and status match offers that airlines and hotels are offering. Check all of this out at BusinessTravel360.com. Now, let's get to the headlines. Airlines worldwide would realize a cumulative net profit of almost $40 billion this year, according to a forecast released by the airline trade group IATA. The figure is up from IATA's June estimate of $36 billion, due largely to better than expected results in cargo and the weakening of the US dollar, which benefits most airlines. For North American Airlines, net income this year will be an estimated $10.8 billion, which equates to a net margin of 3.3% and $9.50 profit per passenger. The North American figures are weaker than IATA's estimated global net profit margin of 3.9% for this year and its estimated global profit per passenger of $7.90. They're also lower than last year's North American results of $11.5 billion of net income, with $10.10 profit per passenger. Europe will overtake North America's long-held position as the region generating the most airline industry profit this year, with the expected net income of $13.2 billion. Overall, the airline industry will bring in $1 trillion in revenue this year. This is the first time topping the $1 trillion mark, according to IATA. Looking ahead, IATA expects global net income to reach $41 billion next year, with the profit margin holding steady at 3.9%. Some visitors to the United States may soon have to provide their social media history from the prior 5 years to enter the country. The proposal posted on the Federal Register by the U.S. Customs and Border Protection suggests that travelers coming from countries that are part of a visa waiver program would need to give additional personal information as part of an electronic application. The requirement will be for travelers using the Electronic System for Travel Authorization, or ESTA, as part of a visa waiver program for citizens from 42 countries, including the UK, New Zealand, Australia, Japan, Israel, and Qatar, just to name a few. The new proposal, which is open for public comment through February 9th, would make that information mandatory. Credit card branded airport lounges performed better than most others in J.D. Power's inaugural 2025 U.S. Airport Lounge benchmark. With a score of 782 out of a possible 1,000 points, American Express Centurion Lounge ranked the highest in customer satisfaction among 1,430 U.S. travelers polled. It was followed by Capital One Lounge and the Delta Sky Club in a tie for second with a score of 773. The average score was 758. The remaining airport lounges in the study, those from American, Alaska, and United, all fell below the average, with United Club in the last position. The study measured customer satisfaction with airport lounges in the U.S. across 8 factors. Nearly half the respondents said that they planned their route selections based on access to their preferred airport lounge, while 82% said that their choice of airline was influenced by lounge access. In addition, 38% also noted that they visited an airport lounge due to the high cost of food and beverage in the airport terminal. The Department of Transportation has waived Southwest Airlines' final $11 million payment to a $140 million civil penalty levied by Biden's DOT in 2023. Southwest initially was to pay the U.S. government $35 million over a 3-year period, with the $105 million balance of the fine covered by credit and offsets. The airline has made 2 $12 million payments in February 2024 and January of 2025. Rather than collecting the final $11 million payment on January 31, 2026, the DOT is providing Southwest with a credit in that amount for significantly improving its on-time performance and completion factor through its $112 million investment in its network operations control. The DOT said that this approach is in the public's interest as it incentivizes airlines to invest in improving their operations and resiliency, which benefits consumers directly. Now, in news that impacts the travel industry. 2030 is supposed to be a benchmark year for airlines' use of sustainable aviation fuel, but it does not look like the industry is going to hit the target. SAF production will slow down in 2026, according to IATA. Many airlines have pledged to do 10% of their flying with SAF by 2030, but that does not look like that will be the case. This is according to IATA's director at a December 9th IATA Global Day media event. Among the airlines that have established a 10% SAF target by 2030 are Delta Airlines, Southwest, JetBlue, Air France-KLM, and the collective membership of the One World Alliance, which includes American, Alaska, and British Airways. Air New Zealand this year became the first global airline to back away from a 2030 sustainability commitment, saying that a supply shortfall will make them unachievable. IATA projects that the global SAF production this year will be 634 million gallons, nearly double last year's figure. Next year, an estimated 800 million gallons of SAF will be produced, a percentage growth of 26%. SAF production this year will account for just 0.6% of global jet fuel consumption and will increase to an estimated 0.8% next year. Corporate travel management will be removed from the Australian Securities Exchange 200 index as announced by S&P Dow Jones. The announcement follows CTM's disclosure that its UK branch had overcharged clients, with auditors finding £77 million in accounting irregularities dating back to 2023. The UK and Australian governments, both of which are CTM clients, have since launched separate investigations into the company's accounts. CTM shares have been suspended since August as part of the ongoing investigation review by KPMG. According to reports in the Australian Financial Review, several fund managers have already slashed the value of their shares in CTM. India's federal government this week mandated that Indigo cut 10% of its winter schedule. Indigo operates more than 2,200 flights daily and controls more than 60% of India's domestic market. In addition, India's Director General of Civil Aviation said it would deploy 9 senior officials to the airline's headquarters to monitor its fleet, pilot roster, network planning, and crew utilization. Indigo had blamed weather and technical glitches for the rash of cancellations, but it also cited a new rule that requires increased rest time for pilots and crew, leading to shortages in staffing. Let's get to the news of mergers and new partnerships. United and Delta have taken minority stakes in Republic Airways Holdings following the merger of Republic and Mesa Airlines last month. According to Republic's recent filings with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, United has acquired about 7.7 million shares, while Delta has taken around 6.7 million shares, making both airlines over 10% owners in the combined company. Both acquisitions were initiated on November 25th, the day the merger closed. The merger of Republic and Mesa now owns the world's largest Embraer fleet, with nearly 300 E-170s and E-175 aircrafts, and operates over 1,300 daily departures, making it one of the largest regional airlines in the U.S. Pegasus Airlines has agreed to acquire Czech Airlines and its subsidiary SmartWings, the leading leisure airline based in the Czech Republic, for 154 million euros. The strategic investment aims to strengthen the presence of Pegasus in Europe and support its continuing global expansion. Pegasus Airlines was established in 1990 and has a low-cost business model. It operates flights to 158 destinations across 55 countries with one of the world's youngest and most fuel-efficient fleets. With the acquisition, Pegasus aims to combine the experience and resources of both airlines to create an organization ready for the future, offering passengers a wider network and affordable fares. Turkish Airlines and South African Airways on March 1, 2026 will launch a codeshare agreement. Turkish Airlines will place its code on South African Airways operated flights to African cities. South African Airlines will place its code on select Turkish airline flights between Istanbul, Cape Town, Frankfurt, Paris, and London. South African Airlines has also signed a codeshare agreement with TAAG Angola Airlines with the aim of enhancing regional and intercontinental connectivity. The partnership strengthens the networks of both airlines. South African Airways will add its code to TAAG operated flights from Johannesburg and Cape Town. TAAG will also gain access to key destinations in South African Airways network. The codeshare agreement enables both airlines to jointly market and sell tickets. As a result, travelers will have a wider selection of destinations, the convenience of purchasing a single ticket in their local currency, and smoother connections with integrated check-in and baggage processes. And now, news of new travel services and improvements. JetBlue will open its first lounge to customers at JFK Airport on December 18th. The 9,000 square foot lounge occupies 2 floors at JFK's Terminal 5. According to JetBlue, the lounge has a space for 140 guests and will be open to transatlantic, Mint business class customers, Mosaic 4 TrueBlue members, and premium JetBlue credit card holders. JetBlue will open its second lounge, Blue House, in Boston in late 2026 and is considering locations for future lounges, including Fort Lauderdale. Uber has introduced a new phone-free way to book Uber. Uber announced its plans to install physical kiosks, starting with one at LaGuardia Airport in New York City, to help travelers request rides without downloading the Uber app to their phones. The first kiosk will make its debut at Terminal C at LaGuardia Airport, though future rollouts are being planned for hotels, ports, and international airports in the coming months. Uber says that this is a new way to booking a ride and is perfect for international visitors arriving without a local data plan. You simply walk up to the kiosk, enter your destinations, and then start your ride type. The kiosk prints a paper receipt with the trip details, making the experience straightforward and simple. Southwest Airlines said that it is actively pursuing the possibility of opening a network of airport lounges. Southwest is currently discussing airport leases and lounge possibilities along with its credit card partner Chase. Southwest won approval for an airport lounge at Honolulu's International Airport. Large airlines from Delta to small ones like JetBlue, along with credit card companies like American Express, Capital One, and Chase, have been building airport lounges, spaces that they've leaned on to reel in and retain high-spending customers. Korean Air plans to install Starlink high-speed Wi-Fi across its entire fleet, including its Asiana Airlines, Jin Air, Air Busan, and Air Seoul brands. Each of the airlines will begin installation preparation and testing later this year. Rollout schedules will vary by airline, but the first service introduction is projected as soon as the third quarter of 2026. Korean Air and Asiana Airlines will prioritize Starlink installation on long-haul Boeing 777s and Airbus A350 aircraft. Following its integration with Asiana, Korean Airline plans to complete fleet-wide installation by the end of 2027. Trainline has released new app features that it said were designed to assist customers, particularly during disruptions. Features include a travel forecast, which notifies travelers if their train is likely to be delayed or canceled. Users can also see the current location of their train. A train swap feature also allows travelers to change their travel plans. They will continue to receive live journey information via push notifications on their new itinerary and secure a new seat reservation. With that, thank you for joining us, and I would like to ask you to tune in again next week on Monday morning to get your weekly update. We hope that you will make this a regular part of your week and listen in while you're on the move or sitting back and sipping your coffee. You can subscribe to this podcast by searching Business Travel 360 on Apple or Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, or Pandora. Be sure to share this podcast with everyone you know so that they can also benefit from getting to know more about what's up in business travel. You can always find more information on businesstravel360.com. Have a great day and travel well.